Good afternoon, students. I hope you all are fine and safe at home. Dear students, now in economics, in the last topic, topic number 10, foreign trade of India. In that, you all are already learn about introduction related to foreign trade, meaning of internal trade, meaning of foreign trade, definition, types of foreign trade, in the types, import trade, export trade, and interport trade, then role of foreign trade. Today we will see next part of this topic, composition and direction of India's foreign trade. First we will see meaning of these two words, composition and direction. Composition means what? Composition of foreign trade means things that we import and export after independence. After independence, there is a change in the goods and services that we import and export. Now, direction means countries as which India exports its goods and countries from which it imports. Now, turn to the main features of composition of India's foreign trade. See the very first point, increasing share of gross national income. As we all know, India has started some new economic policy or economic reforms in the year 1990-91. Through this new economic policy, 91, government had started LPG policy. Now you all know LPG policy. L stands for liberalization, P stands for privatization, and G stands for globalization. So this LPG policy had helped India to increase import and export activity. When government had introduced new economic policy in the year 91, so in the same year, share of India's foreign trade in gross national income was only 17.55%. But after 91, share of foreign trade to national income was increased to 25% during 2006-7 and to 48.8% during 2016-17. Now, second point, increase in volume and value of trade. As we all know, after the introduction of new economic policy 91, foreign trade had increases significantly. So the volume. Now volume means what? Volume means total quantity of goods and services we are buying from other countries and total quantity of goods and services are selling to other countries. So here other countries has increased a lot, and the value of India's foreign trade means the amount of buying and selling also increase. So this new economic policy helpful to increase India's GDP, means the gross domestic product. Now turn to the third point, change in the composition of export. What does export means? Anything that we produce in our country and sell it to another country. And we know the history also. Before independence, there was British Raj over our country, and India used to sell raw material at very low rate to other countries. This low rate was almost a free kind of thing because they used to exploit the Indian people. Okay, so now what we are writing in this topic, see, prior to independence, India used to export primary products like jute, cotton, tea, oil seeds, leather, food grains, cashew nuts, and mineral products. With the passage of time, manufactured items like ready made garments, gems and jewelry, electronic goods, especially computer hardware and software, occupy a prime place in India's export. See the fourth point, change in the composition of imports. Earlier, India used to purchase finished goods from England. First, our country export raw material to another countries. They use this raw material, and from this raw material they prepare finished goods. So here and then they sell these finished goods to Indian people at higher rate, means they exploit the Indian people. So here in composition of imports, apart from petrol and petroleum, India used to import consumer goods like medicines, clothes, motor vehicles, electrical goods, etc. India is now importing mainly capital goods like high-tech machinery, chemicals, fertilizers, steel, etc. Now, fifth point, oceanic trade. Now we already know oceanic trade means we already studied in 11th standard. But the means of transport, about the means of transport. So there are so many means of transport like roadways, railways, waterways, airways. So, for doing foreign trade, there are many ways of buying and selling of goods and services. Sending goods to other countries by means of roads or by means of air or by means of water. So, here water is the most cheapest source of transport as compared to the other modes of transport. So, here in this point in oceanic trade, most of India trade is by sea. So here, uh, countries like India has trade relation with neighboring countries like Nepal, Afghanistan, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, etc. The share of India's oceanic trade is around 68%. Means, in short, more than half of India's foreign trade done by waterways and rest of the percent of foreign trade will be done either by road or maybe by railways. Okay, now next point means the last point, development of new ports. Just now we are see in the earlier point, mainly India's foreign trade conduct through the waterways. So it is very important to develop ports at seashore. So earlier there were only three ports which help India to conduct foreign trade, but now recently there are development of many more ports. So, like India has developed new ports at Kandla, Cochin, Vishakhapatnam, Navashiva, etc. to reduce the burden on the existing ports. Okay, so here in the features of composition of India's foreign trade, see the points, features points again. First point, increasing share of gross national income. Second, increase in volume and value of trade. Third, change in the composition of exports. Fourth, change in the composition of imports. Fifth, oceanic trade. Sixth, development of new ports. Now we turn to the activity, like find out recent share of India's foreign trade in gross national income. See, foreign trade in India includes all imports and exports to and from India at the level of central government. It is administered by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Foreign trade accounted for 48.8% of India's GDP, means the gross domestic product, in 2018. India exports approximately 7,500 commodities to about 190 countries and imports around 6,000 commodities from 140 countries. So the foreign trade plays a vital role, a vital part in the economy of each country. Foreign trade helps a country to utilize its natural resources and to export its surplus production. It contributes hugely to the GDP of a country. A country can industrialize itself by importing necessary capitals such as machines and raw material from more advanced and industrialized nations. By proper control of foreign trade, employment, output, price, industrialization, and economic development of a country can be influenced favorably. Then, foreign trade in India has become an integral part of government policies. Every government dreams to increase its export because it is not only beneficial for the manufacturer but also for the government. The government earns through the excise duties, means import export charges and tax, and it's a major part of its overall tax collection. Foreign trade is also as a tool to control the diplomatic relation between the countries. By stopping the export countries show their disagreement with the some issues, and by decreasing excise duties they show their interest towards another. The major example of this were when the Pulwama attack happened, India stopped every kind of export to Pakistan, which led to huge price hike of domestic goods in Pakistan. The new 5 years foreign trade policy starting from 2015 to 2020 provides a framework for increasing exports of goods and services as well as generation of employment and increasing value addition in the country in keeping with the motive Make in India vision. The focus of the new policy is to support both manufacturing and service sector. Now turn to see India's export. The major products exported by India are diamond and jewelry, followed by engineering equipment, mechanical equipment, vehicles, pharmaceuticals product, coffee, cotton, etc. The complete list of major exports in India is listed below. See the first product, export products, engineering goods, 11.1% of total exports. Second, gems precious metals, 10.5% of total exports. Next, chemical and related products, 1.6% of total exports. Textiles and allied products, 0.5% of total exports. Petroleum crude and products, 3.1%. Agriculture and allied products, 0.3%. Marine products, 23.8%. Ores and minerals, 61.6%. Leather and leather products, 4.4%. Now turn to the imports. The demand for gems and jewelry is very high in India. It is purchased by almost every Indian household. They keep it as an asset. The complete list of goods imported by India is given below. Petroleum oil lubricants 4.8%, capital goods 0.1%, gems and jewelry 4.9%, chemicals and related products 5.8%, electronic goods 4.8%, agriculture and allied products 11.4%, ores and minerals 4.6%. Is your what? This is recent share of India's foreign trade in gross national income. I hope you all are understand the features of composition of India's foreign trade and the activity like recent share of India's foreign trade in gross national income. Okay, thank you students.